Luckily, he didn't kill Stephanie too though. He just took her Audemars Piguet watch and ran out of the restaurant. When Stephanie testified at PNB Rock's murder trial, she said that the shooter seemed like a kid who didn't know what he was doing. And it turns out she was right. The dude who killed PNB Rock was only 17. It turns out his dad is the one who set everything up, and this is how it all went down. After PNB Rock dapped up Tremont Jones and went inside to eat, Tremont Jones called up his homie Freddie Trone and told him where Rock was. It's not clear if Tremont Jones knew PNB Rock personally, but he recognized him and saw all the jewelry he had on. Freddie Trone rode up to Roscoe's and met Tremont Jones outside in the parking lot. Security cameras spotted Tremont Jones passing something to Freddie Trone that was wrapped up in a towel, and the cops say it was the strap that was about to be used for the murder. Freddie Trone took the gun and left. Then about 6 minutes later, he pulled back up to the spot and his son hopped out and went inside to rob PNB Rock. After the shooting went down, Freddie Trone's son ran back to the whip and it took off before the cops showed up. Security cameras at their apartment caught Freddie Trone and his son going inside, and when they came back out, the son was wearing different clothes and carrying a trash bag. They burned the getaway car to destroy the evidence. Then Freddie Trone had a woman drive him to Las Vegas so he could lay low. The woman who helped Freddie Trone go on the run got booked for accessory after the fact, and Trone's wife, Chantel Trone, got hit with the same charge. Chantel Trone is the shooter's stepmom, and both of them got picked up before the cops found Freddie Trone and the woman who drove him to Vegas. Lanisha Evans allegedly drove Freddie Trone from LA to Vegas to avoid being caught by the police. She was charged with accessory after the fact, but released on bail. According to court documents, Freddie also allegedly tried to burn the getaway car just a few blocks from his house. Surveillance footage shows Freddie leaving the apartment where he lived with Chantel around 2:30 a.m. the morning after the murder, dressed in all black and wearing gloves. He then got into Chantel's Buick Enclave, which was allegedly the car used in the murder. Less than 20 minutes later, neighbors reported seeing the car on fire just 2 blocks from where Freddie and Chantel lived. Chantel told the cops the car had been stolen, but there was no sign of broken glass around the spot it was last parked.
Bro, they
no
was never gonna get away.
On the burned
This
car.
ain't even
Later, Chantel told police that Freddie had burns on his arms and legs and had to bring him to the hospital for treatment. She also admitted that on the day of the murder, she saw her stepson using a toothbrush to clean a piece of jewelry in the kitchen. Chantel said that the jewelry had a big L and A, which fit the description of a chain PNB was wearing on the day he got killed that represented his label, New Lane Entertainment. The shooter was only 17 when he killed PNB Rock, so his name was never released publicly, and a judge ruled that he's not competent to go to trial yet. Just a few days before the murder, the shooter was arrested for a different incident that involved possession of a firearm at a park, which involved use of force. Freddie also admitted that he picked up his son from juvie just 4 days before the murder and said he was always having problems with him. Freddie Trone and Tremont Jones both ended up in court though, and Freddie Trone tried to say he didn't have anything to do with PNB Rock's murder. According to Freddie Trone, he met up with Tremont Jones to buy a bag of weed in the Roscoe's parking lot. Freddie Trone owns a beauty supply shop in the neighborhood, and he said that's where he went after he met Tremont Jones at Roscoe's. Freddie Trone claimed that he went back to the shop, dropped his keys on the counter, and went to the bathroom. And when he came back out, his keys and his son were both gone. While he was testifying, Freddie Trone called his son dangerous, but said that he didn't have anything to do with the robbery. PNB Rock's mom went to LA from Philly to be there for the trial. And after Freddie Trone testified, she said his lies are ridiculous. Their surveillance should speak for itself. Chantel Trone and the woman who drove Freddie Trone to Vegas
he did
no
that to
contest
his
to their
son.
charges.
It's crazy.
PNB Rock's mom said the women in this case, at least they took responsibility, but the men, they're not trying to deal with it. When the trial was over, Freddie Trone was found guilty for murder, robbery, and conspiracy, and Tremont Jones went down for robbery and conspiracy charges too. Freddie Trone's son still hasn't gone to trial because the judge said he's not competent yet, but he's going to be locked up in juvie till he can face his own murder case. The lawyer for Tremont Jones says that he plans to file an appeal, and Freddie Trone's lawyer also says he plans on filing a motion for a new trial. They both claim their clients are innocent and there's no evidence that the murder was planned. Freddie Trone's lawyer says that there was no evidence of a conversation about the murder or about a gun. There was only evidence that Freddie dropped his son off at the restaurant and picked him up, but that was enough to convince a jury that Freddie was behind the murder. What makes the whole situation even more tragic is that PNB Rock was talking about moving smarter in the streets just a few weeks before he died. PNB Rock went on DJ Academic's podcast and said that after he lost his older brother to the trenches, he realized that nobody is safe.
Ever since my brother got killed, like my oldest brother, I've been moving different since. You feel me? Like, it's just been something in me to just let me know, like, this shit real life. I done seen people die, I done been around people that died, but when that shit hit your crib, it's like, you know, like, all right, no, this shit real life. You feel me? Like, anybody can die.
During the same interview, PNB Rock also talks about some other dudes in LA who tried to line him up and rob him while he was out with Stephanie and their daughter. Rock said he spotted the dudes following them around LA in broad daylight, and that street dudes in LA were way more bold than in Philly. PNB Rock came up in a wild part of Philly called Germantown. His dad was murdered when Rock was just 3 years old, so he got active at a young age and went to juvie for the first time when he was 13 on robbery charges. He came back home and hopped right back in the trenches, and at 19, PNB Rock got hit with a 33-month sentence over some drug charges. That's when Rock decided to start going hard in the rap game, and he wrote his first project while he was locked up. His rap name, PNB Rock, came from the name of the block he grew up on, Pastorius and Bainton. PNB Rock dropped his first mixtape in 2014 and got a major deal with Atlantic Records just a year later. Then in June 2016, he hit the mainstream when he dropped the track Selfish and went 3 times platinum. 2016 was huge for PNB Rock, but he was still losing people to one of the craziest gang wars in Philly. That same year, his brother Steph was shot and killed in Philly, and rumors say that it was over a beef between PNB and another Philly crew called the West Side Mafia. A dude from the West Side Mafia named Nemo was allegedly the one who pulled the trigger on PNB Rock's brother, and a year later, PNB allegedly set Nemo up and killed him in front of his crib. Taking Nemo out wasn't enough though, and some dudes from PNB started dissing him after he died. A rapper from PNB named Hop Out Blick dropped the track Where You Been and rapped, "We don't shoot from cars, you know we jumping out on feet, and we flamed their whole car cause they was trying to jump out that G. Ain't no lacking on this block, Lil Saw in every car he see. Ain't no capping in my rhymes, bro, I be in them cars for weeks. I'm trying to do a nigga like Nemo got, send some to the sea." PNB allegedly killed Nemo, so some dudes from Westside Mafia allegedly tried to slide back and killed an innocent dude named Jai Kustas. Sources said that Jai Kustas was
not
cool
the
with
innocent
PNB,
dude,
but he wasn't active in the streets. But in September 2017, Westside Mafia allegedly killed him while he was chilling on the block in Germantown. By that point, PNB Rock was already making major moves in the industry and had left the trenches behind, but he was still tapped in with the streets. He shouted out Jai Kustas and his brother Steph on the track Lost You to the Game and rapped, "I'm on now, but I'm missing my gang. Steph ain't even get to see when I cop that new Mosaic, and Shizzy ain't get to see the jet. We on all these private planes. Rest in peace, my young nigga Jai. Got killed, he was only 16. Hops took an innocent soul, man, he wasn't even in the game." PNB Rock wasn't wrapped up in the beef anymore, but he still wanted to be tapped in with the streets and get back to the community. After PNB Rock got killed, Fat Joe went on Charlamagne the God's show, Hell of a Week, and said he didn't have anything against the shooter taking Rock's jewelry, but there was no reason for Rock to get killed.
I used to stick people up. I used to rob people. No, I'm being honest. I'm not trying to front for y'all. I'm not against him robbing them. Caught him, rob him. Why you gotta kill him?
I agree.
Why you gotta kill him? And that's what bothers me.
Fat Joe said rappers are like an endangered species.
That's real.
They're getting taken
That's
out
real.
by everyone. The cops
Man,
won't
you
lock them
caught
up,
him.
even if they're not in the
Yeah.
streets anymore. And dudes who are still in the
Unless
trenches
he
get
made a
jealous and
move
wanna
or
take them out.
something, like, you
French
whack.
Montana even said that record
Unless he
labels
make
are
a
taking
move,
out
you
life
whack.
insurance policies on rappers
On
because they can make
Granddad.
millions if one of their artists gets killed.
But now it's even crazier because they getting life insurance on artists. At least back then we didn't have that.
Is a label signing an artist in good faith if you're taking a life insurance out of him?
Nah, you praying on his death. You praying on making millions on his death.
Or are they being realistic?
Both.
A lot of rappers get
He
killed
only
in
said
their
that because
hometown.
he still wanted
Nobody's
to
safe
do
in
it.
LA.
Or he
After
already
PNB
had
died,
do it.
Ice-T
You
hopped
know,
on
so
Twitter
he
and
like,
said that
yeah,
rappers on
both.
the West
Yeah.
Coast never wear a lot of jewelry because they know how deadly the city is. PNB Rock's fiance Stephanie had posted a
The
photo of
waffles
Roscoe's
and
on
chicken look
Instagram
fire,
right
though.
before
I
the
ain't
shooter
gonna
walked
lie.
up on them, and people started blaming Stephanie for what went down. Nicki Minaj dissed her for posting the location, and Kodak Black said that Stephanie should kill herself. Cardi B jumped in and defended Stephanie though, and said that there was no way the shooter was watching her Instagram. And according to the cops, Freddie
Yes.
Strong was already in the Roscoe's
Yes,
parking
yes.
lot when Stephanie made the post on IG. Kodak and Nicki
Literally.
Minaj both ended up apologizing to Stephanie over the situation.
Because they
A
didn't
ton
know
of artists
nothing
were showing
about
love
it.
to PNB Rock and her on social media. PNB Rock's career had been slowing down a little bit, but he was trying to get it popping again and wanted to go independent so he could own everything he made. He dropped one independent single called Love Me Again in September 2022, but then just a couple weeks later, he was tragically killed by a teenager who was just doing what his dad told him to. It's not clear when the shooter will go to trial, but at least PNB Rock's family got some justice for him after Freddie Trone and Tremont Jones were both convicted for setting them up and getting them killed. Hopefully other rappers move differently when they go out to LA. It's a dangerous city even if you don't have money. The rap game has already lost too many artists, and wearing a lot of jewelry just puts.
I ain't gonna lie, they probably wouldn't even known PNB. They probably just seen the jewelry type shit. So if he would have listened to Goddamn It and left his shit in the car, yeah, he would have been straight whole time. They wouldn't even been, you know? Unless they seen the vehicle, you pop out and it's something crazy or something. But yeah, they wouldn't even been, you know, they would have said, oh yeah, folks ain't even, you feel me, ain't even worth it. But folks, you walk in with everything on, like, oh yeah, that's right. You feel me? So, I think that ultimately got him killed. I don't even think it was because who he was. The way that they talking like a family and dude and his son, he done called it, man, they crazy work. But if y'all enjoyed the video, you feel me, y'all leave a like. Subscribe if you're not, I would appreciate that. And if y'all got any comments, y'all leave them below. Feel me, till next time.